Ah, how am I gonna get that? Here we go. Today, we are going to play The Long Reach for the PlayStation Vita. Let's check it out. Now, I don't usually do this, but the description on the back of this game is kind of weird, so I'm going to read it to you guys while we open this up. The Long Reach is an adventure game filled with colorful characters, puzzles, and the shock of discovery. Wait, weren't we supposed to say joy of discovery? That can't be right. Set in New Hampshire, in the fictional town of Bearvox, The Long Reach is set in the present day. You don't play in a post-apocalyptic world or explore a fairy-filled fantasy world. You're in the thick of it, just around the corner from the place where you buy your groceries. What a strange thing to put on the back of the box, but I have to say, it's got me intrigued. So yeah, I can't wait to get into this one. So here we have the soundtrack. And it looks like we've got 19 tracks on here. And it's not quite the standard jewel case, but sort of a cardboard fold out with a half a jewel case. And there's not really any art behind this CD. Next we have Development Manual and Project Introduction about Painted Black Games, and then about The Long Reach, an introduction, characters, and locations. So this is pretty cool. 23 pages in all. Sort of like a deluxe instruction booklet, I suppose. And finally we have the game. All right, here's the box for that. And the back of the box has the same description that we saw on the back of the limited edition box. Inside, there's no reversible art, and we just have the game card. All right, let's check it out. The Long Reach is one of the wildest thrillers I've played in recent memory, and its story had me captivated all the way through. Normally, I like to save some gameplay for later on the Vita for when I'm away from my consoles, but I couldn't help but be glued to the screen all the way through to my platinum trophy. Interestingly, the game got very mixed reviews. It seems to very much be a hate it or love it type of a game, with myself falling into the latter category. And while I do absolutely love the story in this game, it does experience certain technical faults, at least on the Vita version that I played. Some of those include small text which isn't scaled properly, causing bits and pieces to be missing, making it very difficult to read at times. Performance issues with the frame rate to the point where even the music starts chopping up. Now this isn't all the way through the game, it seems to be kind of like a few specific areas that this happens, but annoying nonetheless. Also, I've had button presses not registering, which is especially frustrating when you're trying to escape and need to hide from someone chasing you. Again, this seems to only crop up in certain areas. And once, my game stopped responding to button presses. It wasn't frozen because things were still animated, but I couldn't do anything but force close the game. That being said, those things weren't enough to keep me from enjoying this fascinating story. But in order to really enjoy this game, I think you need to be a fan of point-and-click adventures. Sometimes you'll get stuck trying to figure out what you need to interact with next to progress the story. So there might be times where you're wandering rooms trying to figure out what you missed. This slow pacing can be a turnoff for some, but you can always speed that up by taking a peek at a walkthrough if you just want to experience the story. Now, as for the story, the game doesn't waste any time jolting you with intrigue. Right away at the beginning, the character you are controlling is made deceased by way of hammer to spinal cord. And in the next scene, hours earlier, you're controlling the calm, seemingly sane hammer wielder. Only this time, you are wielding an array of hammers, striking many chords. The story will keep you on your toes, constantly throwing you the unexpected, slowly revealing itself. Extra tips can be found littered throughout in emails or notes, but you won't know everything until the finale. Playing through this game was like taking a wild psychedelic trip, finally coming down at the end, leaving you to reflect on your experience the following day. The music is incredibly effective. It seems like the perfect game to include a soundtrack, so I'm very happy that they did so in the signature edition. Overall, an amazing experience. I'm very happy to have played this. It would get a near perfect score in my book if it weren't for the technical issues, but as I said, it was well worth the journey. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.